Yeah, good morning. So, last session we learned about how we can use class and style binding. Right? So, we learned how data binding works, style binding works, and class binding in Angular. We learned all the directives required for that. Another option you need to know here is you need to understand about Angular event binding. Angular event binding is nothing but how you write events in Angular. So no special. So Angular uses all JavaScript browser events. Whatever you learned in JavaScript, everything same. So in JavaScript, you learned about so many browser events. I will not explain any of them. I will just use them here because you have to learn that in JavaScript only, right? So whatever JavaScript events are there, same everything works here. Only the way of using the event argument is different. Rest of things are same. So what events you learned in JavaScript? Events are categorized into various groups. You learned in JavaScript mouse events, keyboard events. You learned about button events. You learned about the timer events. You learned about how clipboard events works. Clipboard events, element state events. So various types of events are there, like recently touch events also in JavaScript. These are all events, form events. These are also all event related things. And I will not touch any of these here learning. Just I will show 1-2 examples because these are all JavaScript. You have to learn in JavaScript only. We don't waste time here. We will see just how you write them here. That's only the point I will show you here. And in JavaScript, you learned all these events. And without these events, you can't build an Angular application. These are very important. I hope you know what are mouse events available. Mouse events actually, in JavaScript, we write on. Here we write simply mouse over. So we have mouse out, we have mouse down, we have mouse up, and we have mouse move. These are mouse events. Keyboard events we have like key up, key down, like key press. These are keyboard events. Button events we have like click, we have like DBL click, and we have context menu. Click is single click, DBL click is double click, context menu is right click. Timer events, we have set timeout. So we have clear timeout. We have set interval. We have clear interval. These are all timer events. We have clipboard events like cut, like copy, like paste. These are clipboard events. Element state events like change, like blur, like focus. These are element state events. So like we have select, start. All these are events. Touch events like touch end, touch start, touch end. We have touch move. These are recently used events for mobile based environments. we have JavaScript touch events. We have form events like we have submit, we have reset. These are all events. So JavaScript events, we have hundreds of them, and these are all used in Angular in the same way. Only the point is how you bind the events. So that is the extra. Angular binds events using parentheses. It binds using parentheses. That means you have a button, you have to write the event as click. And you have a div, you write the event as mouse over, like this. You have a text box, so input type text, you have like key up, like this we write the events. You have a drop down, you write the event like change. That's how we write the events. Generally, Angular binds events using parentheses. Another point is Angular provides only one default argument. Default argument, that is $event. Actually, JavaScript have two default arguments. That is, one is this, another one is event. But in Angular, we have only one argument, that is $event. What is the purpose? $event can send information about object and event to any method. So object related, event related information you can send to any method by using $event. That is the default event available. Default event argument. So that means you generally write like this actually. You have button and we have click is an event. On click event, you have to write here. Suppose button clicked. On that clicked, and into this we pass $event. That is the default event argument. Generally in JavaScript, what you do is, in JavaScript you write a button, write on click is equal to button clicked, and in JavaScript event. And very important, every event object comprises of details about object and event. That means you can access like this. So target, it contains target. Target is again object. This target contains ID, name, value, class name. All these are present inside target. And it contains like client X. It contains like client Y. It contains like key code. So it contains like alt key, control key, CTRL key. All these are present. In event. That means $event is an object which contains a target object. The target object sends information about object. Object means button, drop down, any. And event related properties are directly sent here. Remember, this is same like JavaScript. In JavaScript, this instead of this target, this is used. So But in Angular, we have only one event. Through that, we can access all of this, right? And how they work, one simple example I will show you. One simple example we will see. Means just I will show you how this event argument works actually. Suppose I am creating a component here. Let's add a component. ng generate component. I will say here the component name as event demo. Okay. Event demo is the component, and let's keep this in the startup. I will keep event demo, and in index we are changing event demo. Okay, event demo, and let's run this and see event demo is working fine. Event demo works. In this event demo, I will here simply put a button, div class some container fluid, margin top 3. Here I kept a button. Button have an ID, btn insert. Button have a name, insert. Button have a class btn primary. These are button details. Button text is some insert. Okay. Now what I want here is when this button is clicked, I will just use W100 also. And when this button is clicked, I want to get information about this button. Means what is its ID, what is its name, what are the classes used. Not only that, I want to know where you clicked. Where you clicked means you clicked on button, but on button where? X-axis, Y-axis, where you clicked, position. So I want that position. Then see how we can do that. So we are first writing a method, and the method is public, button clicked, or say insert clicked. Okay. This insert clicked is expecting data about button and event. As I told you, the data about button and event is an object type. That means we need to create a parameter, some E. It is what type? Any, because it is an object. So when user clicks the button, how to write event? In a parenthesis, event is what? Click. When user clicks the button, what we have to do? We need to call the method insert clicked. Into that method, we want to send information about button and event. We have to do that by using $event. That's it. Now, very important now is here we are collecting that. I want to display details. Just I will use document.write. We will print some details like button ID. How to access the button ID? How to access the button ID? In this event object, we have a target. Target have an ID. That means we have to use e.target.id. Similarly, I want button name. So e.target.name. I want button class. So here I will use e.target.class name. And I want here, so clicked X position, and I can get that by using E dot directly client X because it is directly present as an value inside the event argument. I want to know actually, so here control key, I will just use E.CTRL key. Why we need such things? Because suppose you see anywhere you can observe, suppose this is HTML. In this HTML, I am typing http://www.amazon.in. Like this I am typing. And observe carefully here, when I click on this, nothing is happening. But when I move mouse onto it, you can see it shows a message, control plus click to follow. It is saying that click with control key, then you can follow. I thought that click means only click, but actually click means not only click. How you clicked also important. Where you clicked also important. That means I am clicking normally, do one work. I am clicking with the help of control key, do another work. That means if I use control key and click, then it is doing some other work. You can see it opens Amazon. That means it's not like click means only click. Right? So suppose I will put here simply one option, use control plus click. Use control plus click or try control plus click. Then it can do some other work. How do we know they used control key or not? That is through event argument only you can know. Through event argument we can know. See now, I am writing that logic there. I am writing that here to know the control key. Observe here, I click on this insert button. When I click on insert button, it gets all details. Like this is button ID, this is button name, this is button class, this is the exposition. I haven't used control key. Suppose I am using control key, hold down control key and click on insert and it will get that. It says control is true. That means you used a control key, then it will open. We can write logic for that. These are very basic things you already learned in JavaScript. Only the point is, in JavaScript you have two different objects for managing. Event related properties are managed by, that means all these are managed by event. And target related things are managed by this. But now in Angular, both are managed by only one. Not only Angular, in React, in other JavaScript based technologies, even in jQuery also, you have only one. Now remember, these are default arguments. You should know that you can also pass custom arguments. You can also pass your own arguments. It's not to use only that. We can also pass our custom arguments. That means, see here, I am passing into this $event. Okay. After that, comma, I will pass a string. In that string, I will give a name, right? Suppose message from button, like this. Now this method should accept that string. That means in the method you must have another parameter. That is message. It is what type? String type. Now we can display the message here. I want to bring and display the message here. That means message. What is the message? I will just use just MSG. That is our own argument. And on button click, you can send those details also. It is not just string. You can send an object, you can send an array, you can send an boolean number, any type. That means I can send an object. How? Suppose I am giving here an object. Object have some name as TV, some price as some price, like this. Now there must be one object parameter, product, what type, any. And I want to print those details. Then what we do? The product ID, product name. How do we get the product name? Just product here $. Here just product dot name. In the next line, I want the product price. And here we have to use $, product dot price. And you can see that details also will come here. So you can pass any parameter you want, any number of parameters you want, and anything you want. Default argument is $event. $event contains information about event and information about object. Others, your wish, you can send any kind of data into it. So these are general JavaScript only. Only the point here is we are removing this here. No more this. Instead of event, we are using $event. JavaScript events will teach you all these things. So here you need to know the change. That's it, right? So this is a simple example to understand how the arguments will work. Event demo.component.ts, and this is the component here, and yeah, that is the component. Another event demo.component.html. In that we have just the design. So we have this design. These are event related options. These are event arguments. And working with events, same like JavaScript. I will show you one example. You try all other JavaScript examples with those events here. You have to learn all those events in JavaScript. You can try them here. 1-2 examples I will show. Already we saw so many. I showed you click event. I showed you change event, drop down change event. I showed you last session mouse move. When mouse is moving, we are applying some style objects. So similarly other events also, but we will see one simple basic point. I will show one example here. Let's see. Let's create an example here. So we will create a form. We will create one form. Yeah. So we will design here a form. I am creating a form and some details. That means I will put a heading, some register user. Okay, data list, data term, some user name or user ID. Data definition, okay. And here input type is equal to text. Okay. And below that I will put a empty data definition. Now what the concept of user ID is, when user is registering, he will enter what user ID he wants. I need to verify with my database and I need to check that the user ID he entered is not taken by somebody else. If it is taken, then show error saying that this ID is already taken, try another. If not, then say that available, you can use it. So that is the point we need here. So actually your data will come from API, some database. Temporarily what you can do is see in the project app folder. Actually we are creating components. We don't have any API by our own. Later we will create API. I will show you one example. But to create API, as I told you, you need some knowledge of, to create API, you need some knowledge of server side databases and all. As of now, what I will do is just, I will put some hard coded data, some rough data I will keep here. See, we will create users. Users is an any type array. And in that we will put some user details, user ID. User ID is some John. Okay. Another user ID. This is some John 1, 2. Another user ID. So then like John 1, 2, 3, something like this. So we have another user ID. Like this, hundreds of users information will be there. Now what I have to do is, when user is typing the user ID, we have to verify that that ID is not already there here. If already there, suggest them that please take another, because this is already taken. How do we do that? Here, when the user ID is available, suppose I am typing like John. That means it is already taken. One character I am changing, like 1. So John 1 is not there. So it should say okay, available. One more character I am typing, it should say no, it is already taken. Remove this, okay, it says available. That means for every character, it should verify. Then what is the event good for text box? We can use the event key up. I hope in JavaScript you learned what is difference between key up. So you have learned about what is difference between key up and key press. What is difference between key up and key press? Key up, key press and key down actually. 3 are there. Key up, key down and key press. Difference what? Because you press and release, that is key up. That is key press also. What is difference between key up and key press? What your JavaScript says? The same Angular also says. What is it actually? Suppose we are typing John. How many keys I pressed? Only 3. Because N is not finished. Cursor is still there. That means key press will fire up when you finish the key. That means finishing key means not typing. You come out of it, then it is finished. That means currently only 3 keys pressed. How many keys up? 4 keys up. 4 keys up, but only 3 keys pressed. The 4th key will come when you finish it. Finish means press a space. You come out of N. That means now 4. That is actually difference between key up and key press. Key press is used in the occasion where we want some actions on press. Key up is used when we want on key up. So much process is there. Learn yourself JavaScript, right? I don't take any risk here in wasting the time in explaining all these events in Angular, right? And you can't handle Angular applications at real time. So without this, recently Java, .NET, PHP, all these developers, even they are Java developers, companies want them good knowledge in Angular and React. They are conducting half of interview in Angular React only. Full stack developers especially. Right? That's the reason, be strong in your JavaScript and these kind of things. So what is this John? Is only 3 characters. When to use key press, key up, I will tell you. Actually, the point is key up is immediately to verify. But it is not good. It is not good. It is not good in key codes. It is not good in key codes. That means if you want some logic to happen according to the key code means what? I don't want to know which character he pressed. I want its code. Because based on code, we can do a lot of manipulations. For example, if I press shift key, nothing will happen. Then how do we know he pressed shift key? That means we need to get the code and verify. Right? That means some keys will not return any character. Those keys are recognized using codes. Suppose if I ask like in how many ways we can type capital letter. One, you can turn on caps lock and type. Another, you can use a shift key. Another, you can also use an alt key. With the alt key pressed from numeric keypad, type a number code, capital letters will come. That generally happens. So the point is, how do we know he pressed shift key or not? Because shift is not recognized as a character, then we have to verify by using code. And key up is not good with codes. Who is good with codes? Key press. Why? Because a key code will return only when key is finished. So as a developer, you decide. You are dealing with the character or its code. If you are dealing with character, key up. If you are dealing with its code, then key press. These are the basic things you need to know, that this is the difference actually. If you are dealing with character and you used key press, it will behave in a wrong way. I will show you. See? Now what should happen here is, when key up, I will write a method, verify user ID. Okay. So we will use here, we will write a method public, verify user ID. Okay. How do we get what user ID he entered? That means whatever he types in this text box, we need to send. Whatever value entered in the text box, we need to send to this method. Then just now we saw we can send by using $event. But $event is an object now. So here what we will do, we can do in another way also. Another way is, instead of $event, you can use ng model. You can use a model ID as a reference, right? Through that you can send. That means what you can do, you can put a name, what is it, user ID, ng what, model, hash what, user ID is equal to ng model, what you can do here, you can send here, so user ID dot value, am I right? Means it will send what value you entered. That is one technique. Another technique is directly event arguments. Suppose I am sending, that means that will be easy because you don't need to declare all this dynamic. You can directly send without this, right? So for example, I will remove this all, ng model, user ID and all. Here I am just sending, what we are sending $event. We have to collect that event here, which is of any type. Now, how to get the value entered in text box? We have to get that by using event.target.value. Am I right? It will get the value. So, what he is typing in text box, we can collect here through E. I am writing a simple for loop for where user of this dot users, that is our collection. That means in this users list, we are verifying every user and we are checking the condition. If user ID is matching with E dot target dot value. If it is matching, then what I want to do is here I will declare a variable called, a property called user message. It is a string type and I will keep it empty. Okay. And here I will put this dot user message is equal to, I will put a message saying that user ID taken. Try another. I will put this message. Otherwise, after displaying this message, you know we are using iteration. Then you have to break. You learnt all this logic now? We need to terminate the block. Okay. Otherwise, we will display message. This dot user message is equal to, so user ID available. This message should come. Now you can see here while typing here, when I am typing, and where to display this message. This message I want here in the data definition, I want to display the user message. I want to display the message. So see, when I am typing here, suppose I am typing like J, user ID available. JOHN, it is taken. John 1 is available. John 1-2 is taken. It will display the message. You can do a lot of things. For example, if it is taken, it should show red color. If it is not, it should show green color. Already we learned how to apply classes dynamically, styles dynamically we learned. That means what we do is, if we will put an option here. So we will put another property, public is user valid. Is user valid is a boolean, and I will put as false. False is the value, right? And what should happen is user valid false. If user ID is taken, what we will put here, this dot is user valid is false. If it is available, what we will do, this dot is user valid is true. Understood? Available means it is valid, not means it is. That means now what I will do is, I will apply this message here. What is the means? Here I want to apply a class. How do we apply the class? ng class. ng class. In this class, what we are doing, we are applying here a color, text danger. We need to turn off and on. Turn off and on means we will put in object style. What is the class name? Text success. Text success means valid. That means into that I will pass, so is user valid, that we are sending. Is user valid? What is that I given here? Is user valid? I uppercase. Is user valid? Otherwise, what is the class here? I will put a general class as text danger. Understood? Text danger. That means here I am defining, here you can see. So I am typing something, then it shows red color. And if it is available, so it says user ID taken. Only red color is coming. We need another, this is standard color now. This is changing. This is changing. That means text success will display when it is valid. Observe here now. I am typing something, user available. It will display. And when I taken something, its color is normal. Now what you have to do? For danger also you have to put invalid. Understood? Valid and invalid. Which color on invalid? Red color on invalid. Right? That means here we need to put another option, another property. So public is user invalid, which is what? Boolean is equal to false. False, right? Later, when you learn about validations, you can make it simple. Very, very simple. In one point itself, you can handle. Currently, we don't know validation. That's the reason I have to write valid, invalid like that. Later, when you learn validations, without writing any of such logics, simply you can show red, green colors. Right? As of now, we haven't learned it. So we are using a manual approach. Right? Now tell me here what should happen. User valid is false. This dot is user invalid is true. Here this dot is user invalid is false. False. We need to toggle it. We need to toggle that. And see now what we are doing here. Just we are adding one more color here. What is it? Again comma. Another one is text danger. This depends on is user invalid. That means now what happens when I am typing here? So it is John available. It is John taken. John 1 is available. John 1, 2 is taken. You can change dynamically. This is very good. This is on which event we are writing? We are writing on key up. See now, I will change this to key press. Key press. I told you, key press. And see now, I am typing here, J available, JOHN. It's not showing it is taken. But John is already taken. Why it is not showing? Because N is not finished. When N is finished, when you put a space, then it is finished. That is not reasonable. It's senseless. So it should verify immediately. That doesn't make any common sense at all. Right? That means it should verify immediately. So it cannot wait until you press space. Space is also a character. It will be invalid actually. So that is the reason key pressed is not a good idea here. We have to use what? Key up. That's what you will learn in JavaScript. Why key press is important, why key up is important, where key up is used, where key press is used, why we cannot use key press in this situation. Right? So events are very, very major things in designing apps, applications. And you need to be very perfect in designing the functionality through events. And you can do only if you know the clarity on every event attributes, how they work. Right? So that is the difference, key up and key press. Here which one is good? Key up is good because you are dealing with the characters. It is good. Okay. One more option is here. After you finished it, available, taken, it will show that. Once it is showing available, so David 1, 2, it is available. You finish typing and I don't want this message anymore. You know how to do it. Then what we have to do, we have to use an event called blur. Blur indicates what should happen when user loses the focus. Finish it. Click outside. When user press tab, right? That is blur. Blur is nothing but what we will do. So hide user message. Okay, I will write that function method here. What is the method? Public hide user message. And what we will do, this dot user message, we will keep empty. We will not put anything there. We will just keep it empty. Hide user message. We'll keep empty. That means what will happen, user is typing, it shows available, it shows taken. John _ NIT, it is available. After I finish it, it will be hidden. Again I am typing, it is showing available. After I finish typing, it is gone. These are events, how you manage your events. This is related to how you can use the key up or key down like options. Suppose you see now, I am adding one more option here, another data term, and I will say password. And data definition, we have input type is equal to password. And here we have to verify another data definition. We will put a span class BI exclamation triangle. I will use triangle fill and the text warning, and I will put here as warning is caps on. Like this I am defining. Now what should happen here? This is the option. I will keep text warning to entire container. That will be better. Here I will put a class text warning. So it will apply here like this. This is caps on. That is caps on. Now what should happen is this message should be displayed if accidentally capital letter is typed. Because while typing password, we don't notice. Accidentally caps lock may be on, you will be typing. Then it should show a warning. Then how to know caps is on? Because caps can be typed in any way. They can type with a shift key. They can type with an caps lock on. Then we have to verify by using key codes. So whether it is a capital letter or not, we can verify by using key codes. We can do that by using key code. So generally what we do now, so when and key code is not good with key up. So what is the best event here? Key press. We have to use key press. Key press is good in recognizing the codes, not key up. So if you use key up, it will not work. It will not work. So we have to use key press and we will say verify password. Okay. Now here, not verify password, actually it is verify caps. I'm just using any name you can use. Now into this, we have to pass the code of every key they are pressing. We can send that by using $event. Now we will go to the logic and here we will write a method. So public verify caps. Into that we are expecting event as an argument. Now what should happen? If caps is on, I want to show that message. So I will do one thing here. Public show caps error. Caps warn. Am I right? It is a boolean. By default it is false. And I will apply this to this warning. This warning should be displayed when caps is entered. It should be removed when not entered. Then how to add and remove? We have to use ngIf, na? ngIf. ngIf gets the value from show caps warn. That is the location from where it gets. By default it is false. False means it will not show. When it should show when caps is on. That means when typing. So while typing, we will simply write the logic here. So we will verify if E dot, we have key code is greater than or equal to 65 and E dot key code is less than or equal to 90. You know ASCII codes, na? 65 to 90 is uppercase alphabet. If it is 65 to 90, that means it is caps. Then what we will do, this dot show caps warning, we will put it to true. Otherwise, this dot show caps warning, we will set it to false. That's it. That means now when user is typing the password, so it is okay. You say password, it is okay. I am typing some uppercase letter, this caps warning will come. Right? And I removed it and typed normal, again it will go. I typed a capital letter accidentally, it will show the warning. So it will display that we are using capital letters. That's very important. And this time we cannot use key up or key down, because key up, key down cannot send key codes. Key codes will be sent only on key press. So we have to know that, how to handle that and how do we define it. So keyboard events are used like this. In various occasions we do it. Similarly, other events, for example, suppose here I am writing another data term. Select city and data definition. Here we have select. So we have an option. So I say select your city. And another option, we have Delhi. So another option, so we have Hyderabad. Now very important, I need to display a message if user haven't selected a city. If user haven't selected a city, I want to display message, please select your city. Because the first one is not a city, but the first one is also an option. All are options only. Drop down never knows that second one is city, third one is city. It considers everything as an option only. Then how your logic knows that first one is not a city? How it knows only Delhi and Hyderabad are cities? Drop down don't know. You have to write manually. And when to verify? When user is changing the city. That means now we have to write an event here, that is change. I will write a function, verify city. Then into that we need to pass which value they selected. What we will do is, for option we will put an value, this is no city, or say not city. Understood? That means the first one is not city. So when anybody selects it, we will send not city word. Or people have a habit of sending like -1. That is traditional rule actually. In general programming standards, we consider the values from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. We consider the values from 0, 1, 2, 3. And anything is not 0, means not in the list, we consider it as -1. I hope you already learned string functions, array functions, index of, last index of. If a value is not in the index, it returns always -1. That is habit, right? We write. And what is the value of this? Value is, this is Delhi. What is the value of this? Value is Hyderabad. Okay. Now what we will do is, we will write the logic here. We will put a function verify city, and we are expecting event as an object. Event as an object. And important is this verify city is sending $event. And I want to display a message here saying that please select your city. And here I will put a class as text danger, like this we do. Now here what we need to do is, here we have to verify and display that message, and here is not public, show city error. It is a Boolean type and it is by default false. And we will write a show city error. Here we will add, what is it? ng if. So show city error. We are writing like this. And we are defining here a condition. So if e dot target dot value is equal to not city. If it is equal to not city, this dot show city error, it should be true. Otherwise, it should be false. This dot show city error, it should be false. That's it. Now you can see here, when user is entering user ID, entered 1, 2, it is finished. When user is entering password, if there is a capital letter, it will show the warning. Otherwise, normal. When user selecting a city, it's fine, nothing problem. If user doesn't select, it shows the message. Where to show? Here, show city error. It is not turning true. What is it is? -1, na? We are not using not city. Which one I changed this to what? -1. So when user selects here now, first these two are working fine. The first one, it shows please select your city. Right? When I am selecting a city, it will not be there. If user is not selecting a city, then it will be there. It will be displayed. These are general how we can use various events. So the events, how you manage: on key up, on key press, on key down, on click, on double click, depends on your requirements, on change. So not only validations, everywhere we use this, right? I showed you simple validation here. Simple validation in different events. Not only validation, lot of animations, effects are controlled by using events. Suppose when I move the mouse, one effect should happen. Out, another effect should happen. Already we saw mouse moving when we saw that mouse moving. For example, suppose here we have suppose assets. Reveal in Explorer, this is the assets. Suppose I am having some images. So some images. Yep. We have public assets. Yeah. I have some images here. Suppose some banners are there, slides. Slide 1, slide 2, like this, some slides are there. Slide 1 and slide 2, like this, I am copying. Actually, these are images, slide 1 and 2 are right. What type they are? PNG. Okay, slide 1 PNG, slide 2 PNG, some images are. I copied into assets folder, and here I will just keep an header. In the header, I am keeping an image. So class as W100. Okay. Now important is, that's just an image. Here I will keep an image that is public. I kept a banner. Banner is a string type and it is having a path assets slide1.png. That's all. I will apply that banner here. So SRC is coming from banner. And you can see there is a banner above. We just have a banner above. Just we kept a banner there. Now what I'm doing here, I'm using some mouse over means here I will give the option as banner 1 and mouse out. So mouse over, mouse out, yeah, mouse out. So here define, so banner 2. Like this we are just define. This is banner 1, banner 2, banner 1, like this. Because already there is banner 1, right? So I am writing the logic here. So just we need to write a method banner 2. On banner 2, this dot banner is equal to assets slash slide2.png. And public banner 1 is nothing but this dot banner is equal to assets slash slide1.png. We are using different images. That means on mouse over, the picture will be changing. That means on mouse over one image, on mouse out another image. The image is changing when mouse is over it. So on mouse over one image, on mouse out another image. So these are all general JavaScript events you can manage here in our Angular. So these are enough to handle. These are enough to handle how we can manage and how we can work, right? So this is the basic thing. I will just give you this example. What is it? Event demo.component.ts. In the DS, you have to add all this. Okay, copy. And one more is event demo.component.html. These are the options. Right? You try all other your JavaScript events. How do we manage and how do we work? Right? All you have to try by yourself. Now, very recently, we got touch events. But touch events, these are for mobile development. JavaScript latest have touch events, and it can be used while developing mobile apps. So you can develop mobile apps also with JavaScript. But alone JavaScript can't do. You need some extra frameworks. Like you have framework like Cordova. You see, Apache Cordova. Apache Cordova, this is a framework. This is a framework. Apache Cordova, you can build mobile apps with only these three things. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? Apache Cordova is very popular cross-platform framework introduced by Apache. So that is used for building mobile apps, iOS, Android, Windows apps. You can build apps for all of these people. So you can build apps, right? That means you don't need additional. Additional means this framework is required. You have to learn this framework. This framework uses JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and you can build mobile apps. And when you are building mobile apps, obviously we need touch features. Obviously we need touch features. On touch, we have to control so many things. For example, see here, suppose already we have assets. So we have one more assets. Yeah. Shoe is there, jacket. Okay, two are there. I will do one thing here. I will design a simple another option. So I will keep a div, and here we have img src assets slash shoe.jpg, and width is 100 and height also 100. And another image I'm giving here is, that is jacket. So these two images we have actually. You can have anything here. I just have these two images. Now what I am doing here is, suppose let's keep a header, heading 1. Okay, then I will just give here this image. I have a name as shoe, and this image have a name. So name is equal to jacket. Okay, name or ID, anything you can define there. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a method. So public, the method is suppose product details. Okay, this is expecting an event, what type, any. This product details, so I will put a property called, so public, so the property is message, MSG. It is a string type, it is initially empty. Okay, now we will go here. When user touch this, that means I write an event as touch start. On touch start, I am writing here the option, and the option is what? Which one? Product details. Method is product details. Into that I am passing here $event. And same here we are using $event. On touch start, $event. And here I will put MSG. So MSG is the message you want to display, right? MSG. I will write here touch start is new thing, right? In JavaScript it is there. Mobile people use it. Now we will write here is, so if or say simply switch, into that E, we will pass that E dot target dot name. We will send the name, and if the case is shoe, right, then this dot message is equal to 50% off on footwear, something like this. That is option I am giving. Then I will set a break and I put a case if it is jacket. So, and this dot MSG is equal to suppose 70% off on winter wear, like this I am giving. Now you can see this is the break I defined, and these are touch events actually. See, mouse will not do anything. You click on them, anything will not happen. You have to touch. You need a touch screen. I touch it, it will work. That means you need a touch screen, right? I touch that shoe, then shoe detail will come. I touch on that jacket, it will come. You can't test this if there is no touch screen. You can't touch, not even a sample also. Why? Because you need a touch device, right? So on my touch screen, I am touching this, then it will get that and it will change. These are JavaScript touch events, right? Now JavaScript is very modern with a lot of new things. And these are very important for designing, because these days every app 90% goes on mobile. 99% users are using web from mobile. And they should respond to touch. We have touch events happening here. Right? These are JavaScript touch related options. We can use them here. Right? Just same, only some change I have done that. I will give it here. So another example for touch, that is component.html and component.ts. Just I will give the complete logic again. You can just try. These are the options. These are the basic events, how we can use the events and work. I just give an example of some events. Others you have to try with your JavaScript examples, right? Now here what is extra is very special in Angular is Angular have custom events. That means all these days you learned how to use the events, but you can design events. You can create a new event by yourself, like on click, like on change. You can create your own events. But this is what you haven't learned in your JavaScript. You will learn here how to create our own events. Why we need our own events? Because here we can create our own components. When we are creating our own components, those components need custom events. Now this is a very important part in interviews also. That means almost all Angular interviews you can expect questions on custom events. That is a very major topic, right? And how to create our own events, how these events will work. Here you will learn how to transport data from one component to another component. Through events we will see that. That means just like on click, on key up, on change, you can create your own events. And you can tell what that event have to do, how it should work. We can design our events. We call them as custom events. That we will see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Okay. In tomorrow's session, we will see about how do we work with custom events. You cannot miss that topic. It's a very important topic. Right? Right. So seriously, people who are learning this for cracking interview levels. Because remember, recently Java, .NET full stack developers means Angular, React interview questions are common. Because you are saying full stack means you are saying that I am a genius with all technology. That is what your profile says, right? Your profile says that I am more genius than anybody else because I am full stack developer. We don't know how much full you are in the technology learning, but your profile is very strong, very high level profile, full stack developer means, and they expect too much from you. That means so much about the technology from you, because full stack developer is not a silly thing these days, and we have good demand in market currently. So these people have to be strong in these kind of interviews. These topics are important. So you are a Java full stack developer, .NET full stack developer, expect 20-30% questions on Angular, React, compulsory. Right? You need to know about them. Okay. So tomorrow we will see how to work with custom events. Tomorrow we'll see. Okay. Right.